Oh, say, can you hear?
Yet another red light.
Well, I'm gonna spill all
The secrets you're holding
About the spaceships up there and the aliens down here and all history,
which is totally fake.
Alright, so I'm going to pick up right where I left off. So at this point on, we left the country and we came to the United States, and I was about 40 years old at the time. And I just began high school, and then after being picked on by kids at school, I discovered weight training in the library, and I started working out a couple years later when I was about sometime around 15 or 16. I think it was probably around 15 or so. So one day I was going to school. I was on the school bus with a couple friends, and we're heading to Katy High School. This is going on I-10, heading west to Katy High School. I just happened to look through the window, and when I looked, the neighborhood that was, I estimate to be probably about a quarter of a mile from the freeway to the right, I saw a disc, a big black disc that almost shaped like a spoon turned upside down, this type of shape right here, literally hovering over the neighborhood. And I saw this helicopter, like a regular chopper or some helicopter, coming close by, and the thing was sitting there. So I said to my friends out there, look, what is that? Is that a UFO? Because I'd heard about UFOs on TV, and I used to watch a series called Unsolved Mysteries, and I thought that maybe it was a UFO or something. So my friend saw it and goes, what the heck is that? So the bus kept going and going, and we're turning back all the way back trying to look, and finally we couldn't keep turning back because we were almost at the high school. So we kept talking about it and talked to other friends. It was me, it was Thomas, it was Anthony, it was Andy, all these guys that were on the school bus with me, my high school friends at the time, when I was about 15 or 16, a freshman high school. So I didn't think anything of it, so I began weight training. And it was going on now for about a year. I was about 16 years old, and we had another UFO incident. This time, it happened out there by Grand Parkway, which was called Peak Road at the time, in Katy, which is when I was in high school, sometime, I believe, inside the mid-'80s. And we're up on top of the bridge and saw something that looked similar to disc flying by in the sky. There was one of them went that direction, one went the other direction. Now, something unusual happened. We saw Air Force fighter jets entering the area, and they were coming in really fast, and they must have had afterburners, because the smoke coming from the back of the fighter jets, you couldn't tell what kind of fighters they were. It appeared a kind of a reddish type of a short reddish type of contour. We could hear them coming in, and the objects, whatever they were, just started heading toward Galveston, just took off, and the jets were flying in, because I think we had the Air Force at the time in San Antonio. And something, they were chasing something, but we couldn't really make out what it was. Now, I'm moving in my brother's house, and I'm trying to figure out now, where am I going to work? I need a career. So what ended up happening was I came home one day to my brother's house down there in Sugar Land, and something just told me for a second, look up to the sky. When I look, I see a massive disc, oval-shaped disc, up in the sky, way up there above the house, and I see jets, airplanes, passenger jets flying by this thing. And I'm just saying to myself, I hear the people in those airplanes would have to be seeing that thing. So when the airplanes flew by this thing, which I estimate to be probably a couple miles across, this thing was larger than the passenger jet. So a passenger jet is this long. This thing was oval, like almost twice the size of a passenger jet. So my brother just happened to be walking. I said, Steve, look, there's a UFO right up there. So my brother goes, man, I don't want to hear that crap. There's no, he looked up for a second. I don't see anything. Walked on in. So that was probably the third encounter of a UFO that I'd seen. So I think it was probably about, it was right before I turned 17. I was weight training, getting in shape. and my body fat was really low, my muscles were out, my abdominal muscles were out. Right, so I woke up one morning and I saw something in the mirror at the side of my left pectoral muscle because my body fat was really low at the time. And something that looks like a pea, it's still there, I can feel it right now, just sticking out from underneath the skin. I grabbed this thing, I'm like, what the heck is that? And I pinched it. I literally pinched it and I can still feel it right here. It's like a pea. About, probably an oval shaped pea right here. And I was like, what is this thing right here? It wasn't there the day before because I'm always working out and looking at my muscles in the mirror and checking myself. The things that bothers you, check your biceps, check your chest, all that. Anyway, so let's speed up now and we're going to go up to about 2003. Because now another incident happened that was going to bring back some information in front of me, which someone found out something about me that was impossible for them to know. So a friend of mine at the time had a girlfriend that went to go see a psychic out inside Rosenberg. His girlfriend came home one day all freaking out saying, I went to go see the psychic lady down there at Rosenberg, and she knows about my dead sister, the one that was murdered in a convenience store. So his girlfriend goes to the psychic, and the psychic, she said, the psychic was telling me that my dead sister is right beside me right here, and that she is okay, she can hear you, she wants to let you know you're okay. And she goes, how'd you know my sister was dead? She goes, the one that the guy killed in a convenience store. So he went out there to go see the psychic himself. So the psychic started telling him things that was unusual about himself, certain things that she could not have known. So he said to me, I think you need to go see this psychic. You're saying you're seeing aliens in person. I don't believe it. Now you're trying to tell me that you're having visions of alien females with blue eyes. Either you need to find yourself a girlfriend or you have a loose screw inside your head, buddy. So you probably want to go check out that psychic. I said, I don't want to go see a psychic. I don't want to know the future. We went down there and I went there to see the psychic, and I was really nervous, and I walked in and she came in here with these tarot cards, and her name is Tammy. And so this woman is sitting in front of me laying out these tarot cards and just looks at me. She goes, you're from a small island. She goes, you had an abduction. You were laying in your bed and you're about 6 years old right after your grandmother died. And one of the aliens came up and did an abduction on you and placed an implant right inside your body. You saw him by the window, didn't you? You saw him sticking his hands through. You saw his eyes. You panicked, but they're not there to hurt you. He did an abduction on you and you saw him and you ran out of the room. So I'm looking at her in shock, and I'm like, you see, here's the thing. The reason why I was in shock, I never told my friend about that incident. How could my friend know about something that I haven't told anyone about? And here's a woman that is a psychic, that I don't believe in psychics, is looking at me across the table, telling me about that incident that happened to me. The monster at the window. How could she know that? So she just looks at me. She goes, coming up here soon, you'll be forced to start your own business. And the aliens are going to start showing up on you in person. And it's already started to happen. Don't be afraid of them. And when you acclimate and you accept that you can deal with it, okay? That you can accept the reality that they're aliens, they're going to come up to you and they are going to approach you in person in the city, and they are going to tell you who they are and why they're here and what they're doing with you. And I looked at Tammy. I said, Tammy, how did you know about that incident? She goes, because I'm picking up on it. I can see it. It happened. She goes, I see it, I hear it, I talk about it. That's what she said to me. I see it, I hear it, I pick up on it, I talk about it. So here's the thing now. It was impossible for her to know about that incident. I said, why me? She goes, they have plans for in the future. Big plans. I said, what kind of plans? She goes, I'm not sure what it is. You're supposed to do something for them or with them. They're working on something with you. It's got something to do with something going on. The government, they're working on something with you. I said, this doesn't make any sense. I said, I'm broke. I'm trying to build a business right here. No one is going to listen to a contactee working at McDonald's for $7 an hour making claims that a type 2 civilization is here making contact with you. You see, these types of things do happen to regular people because the extraterrestrials have become so advanced and so intelligent that they are approaching average individual people for a reason. They're not interested in talking to the ruling elite anymore, or people with money, because people with money don't understand, and they are strictly in it for themselves. And that way of thinking will get us nowhere on this planet in the long run. Okay?
Say, can you finally
Start telling us the truth.
Protect our civil liberties.